Alright, so I promised to give some sort of guide, and I decided instead of sitting there and typing everything down, I will try and just speak so you can watch what's happening and at the same time listen. I'm not English, so I might make mistakes when speaking, and I don't care. But I hope that you will still understand what I am trying to say. Anyways, I'll just quickly show the gear for anyone who just wants to see the gear, so you don't have to stay for the whole thing, because I'm gonna be rambling a lot, and I'll try to keep it organized, but I cannot promise anything. Hamr Brahminy with stabilized. I use not throw away. Bingo with rapid shot, and I use vulnerability amplifier. Use weak spot damage for both. 3 times renegade. Use precise strike and mask. Break bounce. Rejuvenating. Reload rampage. Munitions amplifier and covered advance. You go weak spot. Oh, sorry. You go weapon damage, weak spot, and any other damage you can get on your mods. 3 times renegade. Doesn't matter what you pick or how you pick it. 3 times renegade. 1 Bastille, 1 Stormweaver, and Tattoo Pants. You can change Stormweaver to whatever you want. Maybe 2 Bastille if you want more reload speed or whatever. And I just went to a Primor just to quickly show the build, even though you might already have seen it, because that's probably why you got here. So you slap down some turrets. You want to have some turrets close. The turrets is to create a friendly target through your weapon mod, not throw away. So we throw turret, we send out the thingy, we keep our whatever it's called, bingo buff up, and then you just start slamming in shots, and you start seeing big numbers through the bounces. The big numbers comes from the mask mod, break bounce, but I will go over all that. Anyways, that was just a quickly showcase. As you can see as well, we just got all buffs from bingo except 1 stack, thanks to the turrets, because they proc everything too, literally everything. So that was just quickly to show to whoever just wants to know the gear and don't want to stay for me rambling. Because I'm probably gonna be rambling a lot, and it's probably gonna be a very unorganized, nice lag game. So yeah, there you go. That's the build. You saw armor, you saw mods, and that is how I am playing it currently. Oh, sorry, actually I forgot to show you cradles. So a quick Primor also to showcase it, and it works really well. Cradle. I am using this, and I am using this for everything. Literally everything. I don't ever really swap around in it. I don't see why I should ever swap around in it. Long range, because we're using double snipers. These two is like literally every build, I think. I think the same for this one. Maybe some status builds don't want to use it, but I don't think you can pick anything better. We use steady combo for the bounce. We use steady hand because we are playing a lot with bingo out as well. At least that's what you want to do. You want to be swapping around a lot. That's why this one is also really, really good. The tactical combo. And bounty hunter proccing all the time because you are marking with your bingo, and when you are holding bingo in your hands, your turrets are marking as well. And bounce rampage because we are playing bounce. So I never swap around in these, it's always the same. And so that's just the quick of the build. So now I'll just go back to base, and I'll try to just give an overview of the build with the mods and why I'm using those mods and why I'm playing with those mods. There's very few alternatives. Most of the mods here is actually mandatory for, at least if you want to do the insane numbers. Nice game. We loved the game. Fucking great. At least if you want to do the crazy numbers, some of these things that we're gonna go through is mandatory. Alright, so my last guide, I mentioned how Brahminy also is affected by turrets. My last guide was really small. I really don't think that it had anything to do with it. But shortly after, turrets got nerfed. They used to be able to proc the bounce does not defeat an enemy or there's no target, weapon damage plus 20%. They used to be able to proc this, so you could actually get this back insanely fast. That does not work anymore, and they also destroyed this mod, not throw away. The refill bullet doesn't happen anymore from when turrets do it. Except randomly it does actually happen sometimes, but I cannot explain why. Anyways, in general play, you will not get a bullet back when turret does the bounce. Or if the turret hits something, it bounces back to the turret, then that's when you will not get a bullet. Yeah. So other than that, turrets basically procs everything. Everything. Brahminy is the only one that has been affected of the things that I have found. So the plus 20% weapon damage that can stacks 5 times. Turrets don't do this anymore. And not throw away, turrets don't refill a bullet anymore, but you can still bounce to a turret. For bingo, turret still does everything. They still mark target, they still grant you weak spot damage buff that stacks 3 times, and they also still give you the 15% weak spot, the 15% attack for 20 seconds. And I'm going bingo because the attack buffs the damage, this number, and not just anything down here, but actually it adds to a new multiplier, and it makes the overall damage better. And it's an easy way to quickly swap, get a weak point, a bullseye debuff, and then just back to Brahminy, because you want to use Brahminy for the damage and you swap to bingo for the buffing. Or if a target is alone and you don't want to use a turret on it because you know that you can just quickly do 1 or 2 shots and kill it, then you also swap to bingo, because hey, then you mark and you get your bounty hunter, and you get your stacks from the bingo up and running again. If a turret didn't already do it for you, because they are our minions and they are great, amazing. Anyways, the core way the build works is Brahminy. Brahminy is the damage. 80% chance to bounce when you do a weak spot hit, and without if there's no server lag, this is pretty damn reliable. So it almost bounces on every single hit you do. And as you saw there, it has 35% chance to ricochet when you hit a weak spot again with it. So weak spot hit, bounces back to you, bounces back to enemy. If it hits weak spot, 35% chance it will bounce back to you and bounce back to enemy, and so on. And it can continue. The reason, like, if you just stand here and test it, just like this, right? You see that the final bullet will always be damage, and that's because Tattoo Pants works in a weird way. It gives you the bounce has a 100% chance to bounce again upon a hit. So this resets every time you get a new bounce from the ricochet if it hits an ally. Alright? So if you hit an enemy on a weak spot and it then bounces to a weak spot of another enemy, then it will 100% bounce again, and then it will end. Then tattoo pants will not do anything anymore. But you have a chance that that bounce can then hit a weak spot and bounce again because of your ricochet chance on Brahminy. But as long as the second bounce goes back to an ally, the tattoo pants will always reset this bounce, and it will give you a 100% chance to bounce again. So any bounce that goes to an ally will always go back to an enemy, always. That's why having the bounces actually going to allies is better than having bounces going to enemies. And that's why we spam a lot of turrets, so the bounces gets a lot of friendly targets. Because turrets is friendly targets. This game is amazing. They have done such a good job. Things are breaking left and right because we have so insane builds. Right. So turrets acts as a friend, and you can use that to bounce with. And that is the main part to use turrets, to get something close to the target you want to shoot at. Right, so again, great game, insane game. You keep your bingo buffs rolling, you use Brahminy for damage, and you use turrets to have a friendly target close. That's the core gameplay of this build. Then you can add all the extra things. You can play with the axe if you wanna do some gnarly dummy damage. You can change break bounce to the crit one, for example. This one, every 6 bounce does a precision, blah blah blah, 100% increased damage as a crit. This works on the crit one works on dummy. Break bounce does not work on dummy. Anyways, to not keep yapping too much, I'll just go through each mod and why I'm using it. So Precise Strike, great mod because it's always up, it's always running. Again, we have our homies, aka turrets. They keep it running for you also. They help you to keep this running. The alternative would be momentum up, and it's probably equally good. The problem is with this build compared to like a DE Jaws or Bingo is that we actually don't gain that much from the fire rate. What we really want for Bounce is the last part, the 30% weapon damage. But because of how I am playing the build, or how I built the build, getting to the bottom part of your magazine is actually a rare thing. Therefore, I swapped away from this to Precise Strike because this gives you a more consistency in damage increase, and the more consistent you are in hitting, doing heavy hits on the initial hits with your gun, the higher your bounces go, and the bounces is the key damage of this build. You want the bounces is what does damage. Anyways, next one is the break bounce. This has no alternative. I mean, you can use the crit one, but the thing is, the crit one is good, it's great, it will still do nice bounces. But if you want to see 200, 400, 600k increases in your bounces, you need break bounce. Break bounce is what makes that possible. And I will try and showcase it. Not sure if we can. It's weird, but I'll try and showcase it later. Also, I think the above 50% is wrong. I think it's actually supposed to say below 50%. It's more a execute thing. The increased damage kicks in when the target is below 50%. At least that is my experience of it. Also important to notice is that it says when bullet hits. That means that your initial damage from your gun already applies the 50%. So the next bounce will receive this. And for some reason, the plus 50% always happens on an enemy. Friendly. No matter if they're full health or 1 HP, it will always add the 50%. Please just say that my old video had nothing to do with the turret nerf, and hopefully they will keep this a thing. But yeah, I think this one is mandatory if you want to see the insane hits. Chestnut. I use rejuvenating because it's just great quality of life to always get a heal together with your shell break and so on. It's just nice, but you can literally pick whatever you think is nice here. I just find the rejuvenating nice. You can also go for like something like this if you really wanna try and push it to the limit, I guess. I mean, if you get good substats on a legendary mod, I think legendary mod would always be your preferred one. And for pants, I used to do bullet siphon, and bullet siphon is I'm retard, so I completely misunderstood it. I thought bullet siphon was just like, as long as you don't reload, you get buffs. If I can find it. There. So weapon damage plus 5%. This is passive, so you always get the 5% weapon damage. Then every bullet consumed in the mag grants plus 4% weapon damage, capped at 20%. So I thought that this meant that if I consumed 5 bullets in my mag without reloading, then I would get 4%, and then 4%, and then 4% until 20%, right? But it actually looks at the magazine at that time, and you need to be missing 5 bullets. So this was potentially 25% weapon damage because you get the 20% together with the passive 5%, but it doesn't work as I thought it did. And at the same time that I realized this issue, thanks to Discord, the turret nerf happened. And in my 11-minute layer lab, I realized that I am reloading way too much now that the turrets won't proc the refill bullet for me. So I had to find an alternative, and I went with this one. It's quality of life, and it gives a permanent weapon damage, because you get a kill and you have to reload a weapon. It doesn't matter if you swap or whatever you do, you have to reload a weapon to lose the 10% weapon damage again. Also at the same time, thanks to turrets, after killing an enemy refill 2 bullets from reserves, this procs when turrets kill stuff as well. So whatever you're holding when your turret gets a kill, gets 2 bullets. Great. Amazing. Now we are not really reloading again, unless server lagging and game is crashing and burning down. And that's why I am running Reload Rampage. Munitions amplifier. You have 2 options. You have the 15% weapon damage, or you have 25% weak spot damage. Because of the damage scaling being multipliers, you wanna have them. You wanna build them equally to get a better multiplier in the end. So weapon damage. Anyways, we're going with munitions amplifier. Covered advance. I think this one is just self-explanatory. It's very, very low downtime, very big uptime, and it's just insane. I don't think any other build even considers other things. So yeah, obviously we're going with the most broken thing. As I said in the start, you wanna go for weapon damage because you wanna build your weapon damage up, because we're already using Renegade. We're using a sniper that initially has a very high weak spot damage, and so we want to get the weapon damage up to match it. So yeah, that is my mods, right? That was all, yeah. So as I said, key parts to make this do great is not throw away, absolute must. It's break bounce, in my opinion, absolute must. And tattoo pants, absolute must. These three parts, together with whatever you decide to use on the rest, is how you make this build run. Yeah. I hope that answered some things. I think I did mention turrets a few times, right? But I'll just mention them again, just to be sure. Turrets gain everything you have here. If a turret makes a kill, you get healed. If a turret makes a bounce, the turret also gets this increased damage on its next bounce. If a turret hits a weak spot, you get this buff. If a turret kills someone while you're holding a weapon, you get 2 bullets and you also get the weapon damage buff. I don't actually know if this affects turrets, but I guess they seem to be getting your stats, so it would give it more damage. Same with this. Right? Turrets. You use the turrets also to create a friendly target close to the target you're going for, especially if it's only one target. And you want to get this mimetic specialization. So it increases HP and damage of turrets by 30%, and it gives the turrets a 30% chance to proc bounce. And when you create a turret, you get 5 turrets instead of 1. And you want to get someone to build your synthesize bends, so you get this one, which adds another one to the craft. So whenever I craft 1, now I will get 6 from this. I'll get 6 turrets out of this. I mean, it's quality of life. I would say it's a must. Well, at least the first one is a must, because this allows them to actually bounce from not hitting weak spot. If you're holding Brahminy and you don't have this one, if they hit a weak spot, they can still bounce because they inherit the Brahminy weapon things. But other than that, a must. Alright. Because of how not throw away works, get yourself some electronics, because you are consuming these bullets extremely slow. And they give a 10% attack modifier, which adds to your damage. Together with the bingo's buff to this one. So you're building the damage part up as well, which is its own multiplier, adding together with the other multipliers and so on. It's great. It's a good buff. And oh, did I mention when your turret bounces, they proc this as well if you're holding Brahminy out. So turrets also keeps this rolling, so you always have it up. 3 seconds, whatever. Turrets keeps it up. I think that was generally the main things that you need to know. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Did I forget something? No, I think that's the general things that's important to know about the build. Well, and also to show and explain why I use what I use. I did show Cradle earlier, right? But yeah, as I said earlier, I use this for anything. I don't even change to these because I just avoid the weirdo mobs that tries to force you into play something you don't want to play. I want to show turrets just a little bit to end with. Maybe we can get them to proc break bounce, maybe we can't. Actually, I think break bounce needs maybe a bit more explanation. So, break bounce, again, that's the mask mod. As I said, the above 50% HP, I am pretty sure it is supposed to be below 50% HP. And I think I said it, but I'm just saying it again. The final bullet hit is adding the damage after the hit, but it will always add the damage if it hits a friendly. And this happens for turrets as well. Yeah. Also, any bounce you have out and running as the target goes below 50% HP will instantly get this buff. I'm not sure if it gets whatever amount of... Oh, by the way, randomly bounce doesn't show numbers because it hits too hard, I guess. But what I was saying, I don't know if the current bounce that you have running as the target goes below 50% HP then adds 50% to every bounce it have done for that entire time. But there is something about that. As I said in the start, this is just my experience, and things are not really working as they always say in this game. So I cannot tell you if... I mean, that's just my experience. Randomly, as soon as target goes below 50% HP, it will just start taking massive bounces. So, as I've said multiple times, turrets procs everything. Anything you are using, turrets will apply to and buff you to. And actually, I can take out Brahminy here, and you'll see it can also do, if it hits a weak spot, it will also rebounce as it just did. And as the target will go below 50% HP, you will see that it will also start doing the increased damage through break bounce if it actually shoots. So 15k, that's pretty low. 20k, because it's stacking up the buffs now for us. It's stacking up this buff right now for us, and any other buff we have. But yeah, probably can't show it on this. Probably too low HP. It will just randomly die. I knew it. Let's just kill this other one quick, and see if I can make something happen on the elite upstairs. But I mean, look at it. If this is a feels good build, just absolutely just annihilates. It just kills stuff. It's so strong, and it's so funny that it's so underrated. Alright. Oh my god, what a good shot. Okay, turret, do your thing. Maybe if we put more. Well, it did a 29k hit, and again, for some reason bounce hits when they kill stuff often don't actually show any numbers. So, but I mean, who cares? The thing died. I guess we have to actually activate the bus to get this thing going. So I'll just place a turret here because why not? And a miss again, and turret will just, you know, take care and stuff. If you have like a D jaws or little jaws or a power surge or whatever, you can kill this one faster. I just haven't built anything else, so you will get the slow kill. Alright, I'll place some turrets and we will try and see if we can get the turrets to do some gnarly numbers. So first I marked. It didn't actually mark because I don't see them the debuff on it, so I'll try and mark again. It still didn't work. I know it's supposed to hit weak spot after. It should do 100% after swapping, right? Let's give them a little butterfly so they have a chance to bounce, and let's keep Brahminy out. Alright, so we saw 38k. They're building up all the buffs as well. Come on. I mean, I guess your damage is the main damage anyways. 122k, 127k. 115k. 155k. And 161k. So as you see, not only do they help you keep all the buffs running, they also do some nice damage. I mean, you could bring in your vortex plane friend and have him do all his awesome vortexes, and the turrets would out damage him. Yay. Anyways, I don't know. I can just show quickly as well. Now I have videos of most of the things. I also made a video of 3 with and without turrets. But in the end, if you are going to build this build, be prepared to use turrets. There's no reason to handicap yourself. Anyways, I hope this helped a bit. Yeah, if you have more questions, or if there's something I didn't explain, oh, maybe actually food buffs, use whatever you want. I just use crumbly bread and iced tea, and you can use the rabbit and deer meat as well if you want to get the increased stamina. That's the only things I use in anything that you've seen me do, and I'm just too lazy to. I tried the breeding thing and it's not me. I don't care. But yeah. Anyways, I have many other videos showcasing the build, and if there's something I forgot or some question you were thinking about that I didn't go through, then feel free to just leave a comment and I will try to answer as soon as possible. Right? So I hope you learned a thing or two, or got a little bit more understanding of what I play and why I play it. And I hope you go out there and have fun with Bounce. At least I am having loads of fun. And yeah, see ya.